Good evening and a very warm welcome. You're watching Primetime News on TV1. I'm Theruni Karunaratne. First on to your top stories for tonight.
Prepare for presidential and general elections. No race for government employees this year. A statement from the president.
ආණ්ඩුවට නම් තව තත්ත්වයක් නැහැ. තව සතයක් දෙන්න මේ අවුරුද්දේ. අනික මේ මාසේ මැද ඉඳන් නැතිවරණයට සූදානම් වෙනවා.
Over 100 trade unions to launch two-day strike from Monday. SLPP will never allow election postponement. Party's national organizer assures. First draft of Sarvajana Balaya strategic framework unveiled. Protecting the public's right is a matter of national interest, opposition leader says. Drug trafficking and underworld crime to be eliminated by December 2025 under current president's leadership, a promise from the public security minister.
අපේ ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ නායකත්වයේ යටතේ මද්ද්‍රව්‍ය හා පාතාලය 2025 දෙසැම්බර් වෙනකොට මුළු රටින්ම මේක තුරන් කරන්න පොරොන්දු වෙමින්.
In your top story for tonight, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that it is not possible to increase the salaries of state sector employees once again this year, as the country is gearing up for presidential and general elections. The president expressed these views attending the Uva Provincial Community Police Committee meeting.
A ceremony to empower the members of the Uva Provincial Community Police Committee was held today under the theme A Law-Abiding Country. Minister of Public Security Tiran Nalas, Inspector General of Police Deshabandhu Tennakon and other senior police officers attended the ceremony.
The main objective of this mission is to save our motherland from drugs and underworld crime and create a society where the people can live without fear. Under the guidance of the President and the Prime Minister, Sri Lanka Police will continue to work with great responsibility to eradicate the underworld and drug trafficking in this country.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොලිසිය ක්‍රියා කරන බව ඉතාම වගකීමෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කරමින් මගේ වචන ස්වල්පය අවසන් කරනවා.
මම ඒ යුක්තිය මෙහෙ
I decided to launch Operation Yuktiya for you, for your children and for your families. You are aware of how many families were destroyed and how many children were lost. Such a miserable situation was prevailing in the country. We made a statement that we will create a massive change in the country before the 30th of June regarding the underworld and drug trafficking. Everyone here is aware of the situation before and now in their areas. We faced many challenges. The international community intervened to stop this. Lawyers intervened to stop this. The lawyers tried to remove me from my ministerial portfolio when I said that guns are to be used for the right thing, not to keep them idle. We continued this operation amidst all these challenges. We got attacked by the media. Our reputation was ruined, threatening to stop this. But we did not take a step back. I promise you that we will continue this operation continuously, regardless of any external influences. The President has instructed me to do the right thing without letting anyone intervene. By December 2025, we will completely eliminate drug trafficking and underworld crime under the leadership of the President.
25 දෙසැම්බර් වෙනකොට මුළු රටින්ම මේක තුරන් කරන්න පොරොන්දු වෙමින් මගේ වචන ස්වල්පය අවසන් කරනවා.
This community policing system that we have started is the same they have in England. Many countries in the world use this, even in Europe. They have failed in London. That is the reason why Rishi Sunak lost where law and order could not be controlled. We took steps to protect law and order in this country, but that is not enough for us. We need to impose new law today. We will not go that far as Singapore. They are asking to introduce death penalty. There is no need to do that, but they should be held in custody and actions should be taken against these people.
සිංගප්පූරුවෙන් උත් කිව්වත් ඒ අය යන දුරට අපි යන්නේ ඒ අය කියන්නේ මරණ දඬුවම් දෙන්න කියලා මම ඒව කරන්න අපිට උවමනා නැහැ. ඒත් මේ අය අත්අඩංගුවේ තියාගන්න උවමනයි. ඉතින් මේ ගැන ක්‍රියා කරන්න ඕනේ.
The President commented on the country's economy and the trade union actions demanding salary raises.
ආර්ථිකයේ අපේ මුදල් හරියට පාලනය කරන්න. රාජ්‍ය මුදල් පනත, රාජ්‍ය ණය පනත මහා බැංකු පනත අපිට දැන් අයවැය පාලනය කරන්න.
An economy and funds should be properly managed. We don't have extra funds. We spent all the extra money we had. Our Swasuma increased prosperity by 3 times and gave 10 kilograms of rice each to the low-income beneficiaries. Salaries were increased by 10,000 rupees and allowances were increased. Now all our funds are over. We give everyone 10,000 rupees this year and some are demanding even more. This is a very difficult task. If we give money to everyone, the government will be left with nothing. Besides, we are preparing for the elections from this month. We don't have time to hold the presidential election, general election and other programs. Then there will be no salary increases. If we do that, the people will be in trouble. We have now appointed a committee to work on increasing it next year. When we get that report, we will work to allocate that money in the 2025 budget. Now is not the time to increase salaries. Now is the time for an election. No party can do this the way we are operating today.
දැන් අපි කොමිටියක් පත් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ අයගේ වාර්තාව ලැබුණාම 2025 අයවැයට ඒ මුදල් ලබා දෙන්න ක්‍රියා කරනවා. අනික දැන් පඩි වැඩි කිරීමේ කාලයක් නෙමෙයි. දැන් තියෙන්නේ මැතිවරණයක් එන කාලේ. ඒකයි තියෙන්නේ. කොයි පක්ෂයටවත් බෑ මේක කරන්න. මේ අද යන විදියට.
Now, over 100 trade unions in many sectors of public service will launch a trade union action by calling in sick on Monday and Tuesday. Meanwhile, protests and trade union actions took place across Sri Lanka today, citing various demands, including salary disparities. The Satyagraha, launched opposite the Ayurvedic Teaching Hospital in Borella by the Sri Lanka Government Ayurvedic Medical Officers Association, entered its 4th consecutive day today. Today is day 66 of the strike launched by university non-academic staff. Along with the strike, indefinite satyagrahas are also being staged opposite universities. Co-chairman of the University Trade Union Committee, Dhammika S. Priyanto, said that if solutions are not given to the issue of university non-academic staff by next Tuesday, they will continue their strike. However, State Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Suren Raghavan, yesterday said that staff will receive their April salaries and overtime allowances in full. Additionally, they will be allowed to return to work without penalty, with the days missed counted as holidays. The All Ceylon Samurdhi Development Officers Union held a media briefing today to express their concerns regarding future trade union actions.
We are facing an unsustainable struggle. Even if the government offers a salary increase of 50,000 rupees instead of 25,000 rupees, that is still not enough. And they are looking to cut back on our meagre salaries. The necessary drafts have been prepared and cabinet approvals have been obtained. We urge them not to even consider reducing salaries of Samurdhi officers. In protest, we will shut down all offices and banks on the 8th and 9th. We urge the country's leaders to address the issues of Samurdhi officers by the 8th. This is a strong warning.
The Public Services Trade Union Alliance said that over 100 trade unions within the public service will hold a strike on the 8th and 9th of July, citing salary concerns.
Over 100 unions across the entire public service are engaged in a massive strike to address several demands. The Public Services Trade Union Alliance highlights that government employee salaries haven't increased since 2016. Various allowances were previously requested and secured through past struggles. Give us the long overdue raise of 20,000 rupees, faster hiring to fill vacant positions, and solutions to ongoing service problems. The 2-day strike will be on the 8th and 9th.
The People's Struggle Alliance engaged in a protest march opposing the current state of affairs in Sri Lanka. They marched from Kandy to Nitambua.
The protest march launched by the People's Struggle Alliance in Kandy is scheduled to reach Kiribathgoda via Malvanalla, Kegol and Nitambua. Members of the People's Struggle Alliance kicked off the protest march opposite the George E. De Silva Park in Kandy. Handouts were also distributed to inform the people.
It seems Ranil Wickremesinghe is trying to postpone the election while the government is in the process of auctioning off all the lives of the people of Sri Lanka as per the political agenda of India. At a time when there is a need for an alternative economic and political program against the IMF program and the robbing of the country's national assets and auctioning the entire country to Indian hegemony, we came here as the People's Struggle Alliance for this march.
නුවර නගරයට ඇවිල්ලා නගර සංචාරය කිරීම සඳහා අපි සූදානම් වුණේ.
They reached Mavanala and then Kegor later in the day and informed the people about the situation in the country. A protest march from Moratua to Gaul is scheduled to take place tomorrow.
The Election Commission will be empowered to proclaim the date for the presidential election in 11 days. Now, President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that it is up to the people to decide whether not to continue on the current path. The president also extended an invitation to the opposition once again. The Gaul District Conference of the United National Party was held today under the chairmanship of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Deputy Leader of the UNP Ruwan Wichewardena, Chairman Bajira Bewardena and others participated in this event.
We must cautiously move forward and avoid division. To achieve this, we need Ramesh Patirana and all other public representatives from the Podujana Eksath Peramuna, along with all other political parties, to unite. Only then, as a united nation, can we move forward and build a better future for our children. No matter who comes into power, they will not survive beyond a year. They will have to hand over the country to Ranil Wickremesinghe yet again. The leaders with the people's mandate have flocked together today to extend their support to Ranil Wickremesinghe. 75% of the SLPP is ready to support President Wickremesinghe. The current leaders of the SLFP too will support President Wickremesinghe. I would like to say that the future is not in my hands but in yours. I have done all I can. I did my part. They even burned down my house. It is up to you whether we will continue or not. We will pass an economic transformation bill that will lay down a path to follow in the coming years. When the Election Commission declares a date in September or October for the election, it is up to you to cast your vote and determine the future. It is up to you to secure the future of the country. We fought and divided, and that led to the economic destruction of the country. We must rebuild that collapsed economy and political framework. I will always invite the opposition. They are old friends of mine. We must think fresh next time.
Now, national organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Namal Rajapaksa, stressed that the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna will never allow an election to be postponed. He expressed these views at the SLPP Monaragala Electorate Conference.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොදු ජන පෙරමුණේ ජාතික සංවිධායක මහා පොළොවේ බලාපොරොත්තුව උත්කර්ෂයට ගෙන යන
Now, they are asking who the presidential candidate is. Remember, without the votes of you, me of the Pohotu and everyone else in the country, no one can become the president in the future. Also remember that when the next government is formed in the future and when the ministers are appointed, then the ministers here will also hold ministerial positions in that government. I make one promise. No matter what candidate our party presents for the presidential election, we will present a leader who will not divide this country and will not sell the national assets of this country. By producing such a leader, the power of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna will be re-established in this country after the next presidential election. Some argue that there is more time for the national organizer. However, if Prince Siddhartha had believed he still had time to become a Buddha, we wouldn't be able to say Buddhang Saranam Gacchami. Today, just like that, we now wonder when the presidential election will be held. A petition has been filed to postpone the election. Some claim that current President Ranil Wickremesinghe intervened, but he denies involvement. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna appointed President Ranil Wickremesinghe to address the economic, political and social problems Sri Lanka faced at the time. We did not authorize him to support any postponement of the election. Mahinda Rajapaksa received our votes. Therefore, we believe President Wickremesinghe is not part of the plan to delay the election. If some claim the government also also supports postponement. Remember that we are part of the government. We firmly oppose any delay. Elections cannot be postponed. We reiterate that we are prepared to re-elect the Sri Lanka Podujana Peremuna's presidential candidate as the country's executive president when the election takes place.
Sri Lanka Podujana Peremunen ඉදිරිපත් කරන අපේක්ෂකයා නැවත වතාවක් මේ රටේ විධායක ජනාධිපති ධූරයට අපි පත් කරන්න සූදානම් කියන කාරණාව මතක් කරනවා. සමහරුන්ට දැන් තමයි මතක් වෙලා තියෙන ජනාධිපතිවරණේ අවුරුදු 5න් තියන්න.
Some people are now wondering if the presidential elections should be held every 5 or 6 years. If they wanted to learn more about frequency, they should have done so earlier. The election commissioner is currently deciding whether the election will be held in the 5th or 6th year of the term. He has a week to proclaim the election. There will always be those who advocate for delaying elections. However, our party firmly opposes such practices. The people of this country deserve the right to choose their government at the designated time. No political force has the authority to deny them this right. Some leaders have postponed the elections to hold on to power. This was not the case with President Mahinda Rajapaksa. He firmly believed in upholding the democratic rights of the people. As the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, which follows his principles, we will never allow elections to be postponed.
ඉවරණ කල් දාන්න ඉඩ තියන්නෙත් නැහැ කියන එකත් ඔබ තමුන්නාසලට අපි වගකීමකින් මතක් කරනවා.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa highlighted that protecting the public's rights in Sri Lanka is now a matter of national interest.
රටේ ලක්ෂ 220 සුහුරු ආකාරයට අවබෝධයෙන් වැඩ කටයුතු කරොත්
If the 22 million people in our country work together in understanding, then a small, powerful group won't be able to manipulate the lives of ordinary citizens for their own benefit. Every citizen needs to understand their right and privileges, the importance of their role and the power of our constitution. A secure citizenry guarantees protected liberties for all. Protecting the public's right in this country is now a matter of national interest. We face a concerning trend where education seems to be divided into possible and impossible categories. This is detrimental to our nation's progress. Let's work together to overcome this barrier and embark on a journey of unity.
තිබෙනවා. අධ්‍යාපනයේ බෙදීමක් සිදු වෙලා තිබෙනවා. අද ඇති හැකි අධ්‍යාපනයේ නැති බැරි අධ්‍යාපනය කියලා. කොටස් දෙකකට වෙන් වෙලා තිබෙනවා. මේක මම දකිනවා අපේ රටට අහිතකර තත්ත්වයක්. මේ ප්‍රවණතාවය අපි සහමුලින්ම පරාජය කරන්නට ඕන. අපි එකට එකතු වෙලා ඒ ගමන යමු.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa expressed these views today at the Kokavala National School in Kakanadura, Mathura to provide smart classroom equipment under the Sakbala program. The first draft of the strategic framework introduced by the Sarvajana Balaya was unveiled today. The final plan is for it to be released in the near future, and it will comprise of people's proposals to rebuild the nation.
ජනතා සංවාදයේ උදෙසා ඉදිරිපත් කෙරෙන පළමු කෙටුම්පත බලයේ strategic plan for public.
The first draft of the strategic framework of the Sarvajana Balaya was unveiled today under the theme An Entrepreneurial State, a Happy Nation. A group of representatives from the alliance attended the event.
ලංකාවේ ජාතිකත්ව දේශපාලනය හා අපේ නිර්මල වම අවංක වම නියෝජනය කරන මේ රටට ආදරය ඇති ඒ සියලු දෙනා එකතු කරගෙන සර්ව ජන බලය ලෙස එකම
We are building a platform for the benefit of all Sri Lankans, including the left wing and those who genuinely love this country, to participate in shaping the nation's future. Today we unveil this strategic framework as a first draft, primarily seeking your feedback. We anticipate you will encounter flaws in this draft, and we encourage your active engagement to provide feedback and what you believe should be added.
එනිසා ඔබ සක්‍රියව සම්බන්ධ වෙයි ඔබගේ දායකත්වය ලබා දෙන්නට මේ කෙටුම්පතේ සඳහන් කරුණු සහ සඳහන් විය යුතුයයි ඔබ සිතනා කරුණු ඇතුළත් කර ගැනීම සඳහා
අපි මේ ජාතික ව්‍යාපාරයක් විදිහට මේ කටයුත්තට අතගහලා මේ කඩාකප්ප.
When we introduce this national program to rebuild our nation, the SLPP gets triggered and resorts to promoting their nationalistic views once more. It is important to clarify that the entrepreneurs associated with them are not part of our movement.
අපේ ගොඩට එන්න අපේ ගොඩේ ව්‍යවසායකෝ නෙමෙයි කියන එක අපි නිශ්චිතව සඳහන් කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි.
එහෙනම් අද පොහොට්ටුව කියන්නේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ වලිගයක් බවට පත් වෙලා තිබෙනවා. ඒතකොට මාලිමාව
The SLPP has become a tail of the UNP. Then what about the NPP? The NPP, who rode like a tiger during the Gotabaya Rajapaksa regime, is acting like a small cat during the Wickremesinghe government. You may see them criticizing the UNP on political platforms, but that is how it is. A wife scolds a husband, and not for hate, but for love. That is the relationship between the NPP and UNP.
බිරිඳ සැමියාට බනින්නේ තරහට නෙවෙයි ආදරේ වැඩිකමට අන්න ඒ වගේ සම්බන්ධයක් තමයි මාලිමාවයි ජාපය අතර තියෙන්නේ මේ ණය අර්බුදේ නිර්මාතෘවරයා තමයි රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමා ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි රනිල් උත්තරේ රනිල් වෙන්න බෑ උත්තරය සර්වජන බලය කියලායි අපි කියන්නේ.
Now, United National Party General Secretary Palitha Rangibandara yesterday said that the President submitted a proposal to the Cabinet on Monday to resolve the issue within the Constitution regarding the term of the President. This topic has generated much discussion. Let's take a look.
This year, the presidential election will be held. There will be no change to this. Any citizen, whether on the national list or not, can go to court regarding any concerns they may have. The president has clearly informed the cabinet to ensure a properly conducted presidential election. The presidential election will be held first. There is no doubt in that.
මේ වර්ෂයේ තියෙන මූල්‍ය අවකාශය තුළ ජනාධිපති වර්ණයේ පළවෙනියෙන් පවත්වන එක කිසි සැකයක් නැහැ. අනේ ඒ වගේ පල්බොරු එවැනි දෙයක් කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයට ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ.
MP Shan Vijayalal De Silva expressed these views at a meeting in Meetiyagoda, Ambalangoda.
As a veteran politician, he is reassuring the country that he supports the Election Commission and that he firmly believes that the presidential term must be 5 years. However, his actions contradict his pronouncements.
Leader of the United Republic Front, Partly Champika Ranawaka, had this to say.
We elected Gotabaya Rajapaksa for a 5-year term. However, while Maithripala Sirisena's original term as president was 6 years, he amended the constitution to shorten it to 5 years. Despite this, he attempted to extend his term through the courts, but was unsuccessful. There is no legal basis to this. Everyone aware of the constitution knows this.
He expressed these views during his visit to the Valkiri prison today to inquire into the well-being of Hirunika Premachandra.
Leader of the National People's Power, Andrew Dissanayake, stressed that attempts to postpone the election by amending the constitution must be defeated. He expressed these views at the Veterinary and Livestock Professionals National Summit.
විවස්ථාවෙත් අවුරුදු 5යි විවස්ථාව අර්ථ නිරූපණය කරනද ශේෂ්ඨාධිකරණයක් වෙන අවුරුදු 5යි කියලා. හැබැයි නැවත මොකද කරමින් තිබෙන්නේ? නැවත ශේෂ්ඨාධිකරණයට ගිහිල්ලා යනවා.
The constitution states a 5-year term. The Supreme Court, which upholds the constitution, also confirms this. Yet some repeatedly ask the Supreme Court for clarification on whether it is 5 or 6 years. The constitution is not relevant to the president. His statement about it shows who pulled the strings. Rangibandara mentioned a parliamentary decision regarding the 5 or 6-year term issue in the constitution. Apparently, a gazette will be issued to clarify this matter. The current situation seems to involve exploiting loopholes in the constitution. Those attempting such exploitation lack a people's mandate. If they contested fairly, they wouldn't even secure a parliamentary seat. This appears to be a blatant power grab. This country has been a victim of such conspiracies more than enough. As we have faced the consequences, we should not let such a conspiracy to happen. We assure you that we will defeat his efforts to forcibly stay in power through the constitution and the government.
අනිවාර්යෙන් පරාද කරනවා. කළ යුතුයි.
MS Sumandiran of the Tamil National Alliance expressed these views in Trincomalee today.
According to the Second Republican Constitution of 1978, the terms of the Parliament and that of the President were 6 years. These terms were reduced to 5 years through the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. At that time, President Maithripala Sirisena consulted the Supreme Court saying, I was elected for 6 years, I have a mandate from the people for 6 years, therefore I should be permitted to serve 6 years. But the Supreme Court in its opinion had stated that 19th Amendment itself had a transitional provision that said this applies to the incumbent president also, and therefore his term was determined to be 5 years. The Attorney General who appeared before the Supreme Court at that time took the position that Maithripala Sirisena could serve for 6 years, but any president thereafter was limited to 5 years.
This is the stance of the Secretary of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, President's Council Nizam Karyappar.
The current president is using tactics to extend his term in office. He might be misinterpreting the 19th Amendment, which allows reducing or extending terms within 6 years under Article 83 without a public referendum. However, the amendment does not apply to extending the current term. He is also working strategically to secure a 2/3 vote for a tenure extension through a secret ballot.
An event and public meeting organised to mark the 27th anniversary of SLPP National Convener Parliamentarian Rohitha Abegunawardana's political career was held this afternoon.
The event to mark the 27th anniversary of Sri Lanka Podujana Peremuna's National Convener MP Rohitha Abegunawardana's political career was held at the Kalutara Stadium. The event was held under the theme Siyawasak Wani Visihatak.
Rohitha Bhashana 8 වෙනි අදියර පිළිගන්වන මොහොත ඓතිහාසික කළුතර පුරවරයේ සිට අද 8 වෙනි අදියර මෙලෙස ජනගත කරන බව අපි සඳහන් කරන්නට අවශ්‍යයි. ඒ වගේම අමරපුර ශ්‍රී සම්බුද්ධ ශාසනෝදය මහා සංඝ සභාවේ මහානායක ගෞරවනීය නායක ස්වාමින්වයන් වහන්සේ ප්‍රමුඛ මහා සංඝරත්නයට දැන්
Prominent political figures including President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Sri Lanka Podujana Peremuna leader and former President Mahinda Rajapaksa attended the event.
The power of the people.
Stuck inside their homes, yearning for connection. That's what life was like for families in Koleyaya and Aldenia villages. But with the foundation laid for a bridge, these communities can finally come together, opening doors to a brighter future. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri confirmed in a recent interview with NHK that Sri Lanka is looking to lift its year-long ban on foreign research vessels entering the Sea of Sri Lanka.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri has confirmed with Japanese media agency NHK that Sri Lanka will no longer ban foreign research ships from its ports next year.
We cannot have different rules for different countries and only block China. We will not do that. We will not take sides.
Foreign Minister Ali Sabri also expressed gratitude for Japan's plan to provide a ship equipped with sonar.
Here is an opportunity for Sri Lanka to do its own surveying, collecting its own data and commercially exploiting by sharing it with the rest of the world.
Minister Ali Sabri also emphasized that Sri Lanka has untapped maritime resources and research is essential, but it has to be done in a transparent manner.
Now, the recent decision to relinquish the rights to the cobalt-rich Afanasi Nikitin seamount located in the Sea of Sri Lanka has garnered significant attention. The Peratugami Socialist Party commented on this matter today.
ලංකාවේ මුහුදට අයත් ලංකාවේ අධිකරණ බල ප්‍රදේශයක පිහිටි
India has submitted an application to the International Seabed Authority on the 18th of January 2024 to explore cobalt-rich ferromanganese crusts in the Sea of Sri Lanka. What was India's stance at the time? India claimed all of it. Ranil, the Rajapaksas and even the opposition were bowing down to Modi. They are now under the impression that this is all part of their Bharat program.
ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔක්කොම ගිහිල්ලා මෝදි ඉස්සරහා වැඳ වැටෙන විදියට ඒගොල්ලෝ දැන් ඉන්නේ මේක කෙලින්ම මේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ භූමියේ කොටසක් මේ අඛණ්ඩ ಭಾರತ್ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක යන්නේ.
A clean-up effort was organised at the Dikkale Forest Reserve today. In an effort to conserve the natural beauty of Sri Lanka, Slimline Parana Keller organised a forest cleanup at the Dikkale Forest Reserve today. A group of volunteers came together to remove litter and debris from the forest, promoting a cleaner and healthier environment. Day 33 of the third phase of the LOLC Divi Savya program, which is being carried out for the betterment of Sri Lanka's future generation, got underway today.
Today's program was centered around the schools in Thirukkovil Zonal Education Office, Akkarepattu Zonal Education Office and Mahawaya Zonal Education Office of the Ampara district. Under the Divi Savya program, exercise books and stationery equipment required for a year are distributed free of charge to government schools with less than 150 students. Accordingly, school bags and stationery equipment were donated to students of Dr. Jalaluddin College, Kathiriya College, Al Munawwara College, Vimalavira Disanayaka Model School, Kehelula College, Miriswatta Sri Abeyarewata Primary School at the Thirukkovil Zonal Education Office. The LLC Divi Savya program continues to forge ahead for the future generation of Sri Lanka.
And with that, we conclude tonight's edition of Primetime News on TV1. For details of all these stories and much more, simply visit our website www.newsfirst.lk or follow us on our social media platforms. As always, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Have a good night.